Mm. Yeah, you know what? I feel like I'm pretty much okay. I feel like the one big thing that I noticed now, obviously, I'm a controller player, so my point of view between a yeah, exactly, but controller player point of view from a wheel is going to be definitely different. But I feel like I have such a easier time braking, especially into some of these tighter corners. I feel like lockups do not hurt you bad whatsoever in this game. Actually, I feel like into the last game, one off break, turn 10 Bahrain is the example I was thinking of. Last game was almost impossible to take. Now it's like just an average corner, and I don't know. That's the biggest difference that I noticed. But yeah, no, I feel pretty comfortable with this game. I mean, I don't know. It's going to take a while to get used to, as everyone else, but yeah, I feel good with it. Well, I mean, a lot of people complain about this game, and I don't know. I still have yet to do any online racing with this. I was actually in a this is my first 5 lap lobby I went into before this, and everything felt okay. It didn't feel too glitchy or anything. Like I've yet to experience any of these ridiculous glitches that people go on about. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out in the future. Pain. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're new to what we're doing, we've taken the top four drivers from each of the four divisions. I know, obviously, this season we've got Division 5 coming into the mix here, but so we've taken the top four drivers,
Test,
put them all in. Oh, there's this testing. Do you guys hear him?
test, test. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, but yeah, and we did this sort of last year as well on the Bahrain short track. Rest in peace, Bahrain short, and the other short tracks for that matter as well.
Yeah,
Where
rip.
we take the top four drivers from each division and we put them into realistic cars. So as you see, Mystic Joker and Jay to win it, two of the top drivers in Division One there in the Williams, Matt Rosie. And Helg in the Haas, and so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty interesting experiment we did as well because we actually got a complete surprise last time with what I believe was the Div 3 drivers coming out on top last time we did it. It was either Div 3 or Div 4, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see here. It's something that I've been looking forward to for quite a while now, actually, and I'm very excited for how this is going to play out.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. Um, Thank you, Bacon. Quickly, this is the stupidest freaking thing. Just a little mini rant here before I get into it. Stupidest thing about how I get muted. And how I unmute myself. All I do is literally just go into the settings, and then I'm unmuted, so I mute myself, and I unmute myself, and it works. It's just,
Really?
yeah, dude, it's
Well, see,
like,
that's
uh,
See, I'm on the PlayStation microphone, so I have to go in and change my input from the iPhone headset that I'm using, plugged in with the controller, to the what do you call it, to the PlayStation camera. Now, I believe the first time I actually hopped on a league stream was I think for Friday Madness, and I had that problem where I forgot to change out the inputs, and I was kind of muted for a little
oh,
bit.
there he is.
And Fallen Monkeys, the third counterparts of our broadcast, has joined us. Fallen, hello, welcome.
Hello. Hello, happy to be
We're
here.
just
Sorry
having
for
a
my delay on this. Just trying to get in very typical me fashion. There's an update that the PlayStation decided it wouldn't want to do, so I'm trying to get that done now. But I've got the stream open and really excited to I wouldn't say kick things off, but really excited to join you guys here in the booth once again.
Well, you haven't missed much. Hotspot gave a mini intro because I was muted, and then I cursed out the mic, and now you joined. So, not much has happened. So, by all means, you do your update and you join us when you can.
Perfect. It's just in that wonderful copying phase that we all know and love so much that
Oh
is
my.
taking its sweet time.
But anywho, I guess we'll intro the drivers here a little bit. as you kind of said before, there, Hotspot, we've got all the drivers throughout the different divisions kind of split up with realistic cars here. So the slower divisions, slower air quotes, the lower divisions we can say are in the quicker cars, and the higher divisions are in the faster cars. So if you see here, we got Mystic Joker, our Division One championship. He's actually representing the Williams. And now, okay, I'm going to say, and you guys are going to be able to feel me on this one, but with the extra little blue now of the teams for the mini bar, it is so annoying. I'm just there. I'm just going to say that it is so annoying. There's too much blue
Yeah, that's
going on.
pretty ugly. I'm not gonna lie. That's that, and I was looking earlier. The fastest lap graphic came up, and it was like overlapping everything. So that might be something to fix on my end. That was plenty. I mean, honestly, it just the one thing I wanted transitioning between games was a smoother and better looking broadcast interface, and that is the opposite. So, kind of.
It's like they don't even think of us.
I know, right? That's like the whole reason I bought the game. Like, actually.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I'm not, okay. Not actually, but no, I've just played. But I mean, quickly, Hotspot, and I guess Fallen, you can get into this discussion as well. Do we have any predictions for? No, we've got a full qualifying here, but do we have any predictions on who we're going to take pole here? Currently, right now, it sits with Mystic Joker, the only man to go on the 127s, and then several drivers are in the 128s. But what are you expecting to see here, Hotspot?
This first session here, because obviously, and this is just something that I enjoyed thoroughly the last time we did this.
Yes,
was
yes.
that we do have a full qualifying session now. We only have 15 drivers in the field, so this first session is going to be absolutely nothing.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point. Yes.
This first little while is going to be absolutely nothing. But it is going to be interesting to see who chooses to do what tire sets and whatnot, and it's going to be interesting how that plays out. Now, we do have this undynamic weather, don't we? I hope so. So we only have two drivers in the medium tire. But, I mean, honestly, I'd like to believe that Mr. Joker can still get pole here, and obviously he's going for it as well. He's gotten into the 127s range in a Williams, no less. Not that big of a gap between him and second place, but yeah, I think he's definitely got the chances to do it. And also, since last year, I mean, the realistic cars, I mean, the Williams got closer than I think most people give credit for. So yeah, I think it's going to be even closer now than it was last season.
Here, I'll jump in. I'll jump in here with my thoughts on it too, and I do actually have to agree with the and that was something we noticed last time with the interdivisional race that especially around Bahrain Short when he did it, that Williams just had no straight line speed. Now compared to here in Britain, it is a bit of a higher speed track, but still a lot more corners, a lot easier to make up that time too. Plus the Williams, of course, getting a much needed improvement compared to last year. But I do have to not stray too far away from my my home division here for this last season, Division 3, and I'm seeing, at least on my delayed screen, Young DJ CJ up in second at the moment on the stream here. And I've got to put a little bit of money on him, just given the pace he's shown throughout the season, already up into second, and I feel with this not realistic performance. Yes, realistic performance. Definitely a driver to look out for here as probably my my pick for the pole position here by the end of qualifying.
Even so, now Houdini actually finished above Young DJ. Why do you take Young DJ in comparison?
Honestly, between the two of them, it's really a toss-up. I think I'm going with Young DJ. If I'm going to be honest, because he was driving the Red Bull, and I really liked the Red Bull.
Oh. Well, hey, at least you're honest.
Yeah, I got to be honest a little bit about it.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, I mean, from what I can tell you here in Division 1 at least, Mystic Joker, right out of the gate, sitting off the fastest lap, but like you said, this is only Q1, so we don't know exactly how it's going to play out when we get to Q2 or Q3. I'm excited to see. I'm interested to see what Will Ans can do in the Alfa Romeo there. Of course, winning Division 2, up on his way into Division 1 this coming season. What can you tell us about the the gentle Brit. I say gentle, but he's not. Of Will Ann's their hotspot. What's your scouting report
Well,
on him?
I'd tell you what, it's interesting to me because it seemed like when he's at the back of the grid, like we saw at Spa, for one thing, he does seem a little bit more comfortable the more he's in clean air. And I think, he's in the Alfa Romeo, which, in my opinion, actually might be the worst car in the field, along with the Haas and the Ferraris. Just, as those two teams especially just haven't really put anything together. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays out. Now, assuming he doesn't get into any incidents here, we could be looking at a very strong showing from him. And I tell you what, when Will Ans makes it through these first couple laps here, and when he makes it through clean, he's destined to have the rest of his race just go everything his way. At least that's how it went in Div 2 this season. But on the flip side of that, you have a driver like Scuba Steve, formerly Uncle Ben's Rice, still a little upset about that change, but that's an argument for another day. But I look at him, and he's a really good driver, but sometimes he can find these incredibly just awkward mistakes, like we found at Brazil, where he ran into the back of a AI car coming out from the pit lane, which obviously resulted in a DNF. And there are just some of these things that that's honestly that happens to him probably more than anyone else did in Division 2 this year. But I tell you what, he is also another very confident driver, and definitely look out for the Div 2 lads here today.
Now, we all three of us, I guess, don't really know too much about Division 4. Now, I've got a friend in Dead Text Message there, and he's kind of given me all the info about Division 4, and he really thinks that Hammer next year coming into Division 3 will actually do very well. So he thinks Hammer is actually an underrated driver, or a driver who might come up through the divisions. So we'll have to see if he can kind of prove that worth here. Tiger NASCAR, another Division 4 driver, actually taking pole, 4/10 quicker than our Division 1 champion in the Williams, Mystic Joker here. So that's something to keep an eye out for. As well as Dead Text Message also told me that Tiger NASCAR is someone that could also maybe move up through the ranks as well. So we'll see what he can do in that. In the solo Aston Martin, won't have to be worrying about pitting with anyone or potentially overlapping anyone here, being the solo driver for the Aston Martin here today. But I mean, speaking of the Aston Martin, you guys like the way that it looks in the game? You guys a fan?
Man, honestly, that in the Alpine, just like they're very good liveries on their own. In the game, they just look really, really nice. And I tell you what, it almost looks a bit lighter than it does in real life. I don't know. Do you guys feel that same way? It almost looks a bit brighter than the livery in real life does. I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah, what's your take on that there?
Still amazing.
They're falling.
Honestly, I love the livery. I went and I haven't looked at it too much on track. Like I said, I've been driving a lot of my my beloved Red Bull since the game came out. But jumping into the showroom, checking out the cars, checking out the looks there, I absolutely love the way the Aston Martin looks here in this game. I don't know, something about the Hunter Green just really does it for me. And like you mentioned, just the Alpine 2. I just love these new liveries. If I'm going to be honest, I I don't have
kind of a breath of fresh air in a way
to say about it. Oh yeah.
And the only difference we were getting from season to season was Haas, just because they couldn't make up their mind whether they wanted rich energy or not, and then so their liveries were kind of on the edge of that as well. But now having completely different constructors in it is like I said, it's nice. It just feels good. It feels good.
Oh yeah, and especially with the Alpine going from the black and yellow Renault, which I'll be honest was a really cool look. I loved the way the Renault looked sort of in real life with the camera angles. As far as the game was concerned, it didn't have that same effect for me. But going from that to the Alpine is just day and night, and like I said, I love that Alpine.
Yeah, it looks really good, really sleek. But yes, I agree. Oh, it looks like we got DDL in, so there won't be a solo Aston Martin. And now, with that being said, DDL joining. He's got 4 minutes to try and set a time. Will Ance has still yet to set a time. There will only be one driver knocked out of this session. So right now, Dead Text Message, I guess, is kind of... He's sitting safe, but he's got the slowest time out of everyone so far. His time is, if I pulled it up quickly, his best time is actually set on the softs as well, so it wasn't a medium lap. DDL and Will Ans have just under 4 minutes to try and set a time to overtake either Dead Text Message, Helg, or each other, really. So one of those drivers will get eliminated. We'll have to see who it will be in the end. Any predictions? Who do you think is going to be the solo driver eliminated here? Kind of sucks asking that because I'm like, oh, who do you think's the worst here? But I mean, we got to make the prediction. Who do you feel hotspot? We'll start with you.
I tell you what, the trend from Will Ans this season has been, and I noticed this, and I've watched him every session because you always do this as well. This first lap, now I'm pretty sure he's turned a lap already on the circuit. He will turn a lap and find the absolute limit that he can push his car to. Won't set a time until less than 5 minutes to go left in the session, and that's kind of just been how he does things this whole season. That's how he did it at Spa, and unfortunately he invalidated to the points of not getting to do another lap, which I hope he doesn't do here. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be Will Ans. I think he's definitely, hopefully, found his groove, and it looks like he actually is coming out here, so we'll have to see what he's able to do.
As well as you, Fallen.
Oh yeah. So when I'm looking here, I do agree. I have a lot of faith in Will Ans to make it through into the next set of qualifying. Just from the little bit I've seen from his racing, one of the questions I do need to bring up is, do we know if that, and it might not even be a full quality thing, does that late qualifying joining glitch where you make it through but not really make it through, does that still happen in this game? Do we know?
Fair enough.
If it does, that could make the answer relatively easy.
Well, let's pretend that it doesn't. For the sake of the casting.
For the sake of the casting, we'll pretend that it doesn't. I was a little bit worried with the Dead Text Message there, especially having that little peak that he was on the medium tires, being that slower tire and not being able to improve. But I see now, at least on my what I've got open here, he's back into the pits now. Maybe going to be putting a set of soft tires on, looking to improve. It's really tough to say here. You know what? I will say. You know what? I'll just say Helgellian just to get a name out there. I don't have anything against Helgellian. I feel there's going to be a shakeup before the end of Q1 is done.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take that right away from you. Helg just improved up to 10th.
I just saw that.
Yeah. And yeah, save the struggle. Just save the struggle. Call him Helg. That's what I do. Yeah.
All right.
But okay, so other than Helg, Jin, did Jin crash out, or is he just called it?
No, he's gone and retired in the pits, and what I find interesting is the gap between Mystic Joker and Jin. That's a lot. that's quite a ridiculous amount there, I feel.
Yeah, Mystic hasn't improved from his initial lap. He set a good enough lap, and it looks like he is out on track. I'm really not sure. Is he using another set of softs? He might be. But anywho, that's for another situation here. We're waiting to see how DDL comes over the line here. Is he going to overtake Dead Text Message? Dead doesn't have enough time to get around, and he's actually safe. DDL couldn't set enough of a time. Actually, he was way off the pace of Dead Text Message here. That's quite unfortunate. Will Ans right now is the next up. DDL is currently safe with Will Ans not setting a time, but Will Ans just has to set a competitive time here with DDL so far off the pace. But actually, DDL has one more time around if one of you want to stay on board with him and see how he does.
Sure. And I'm looking at him right now, and it's. I don't think he's going to go for it again. He's not had the good line going into Brooklyn's there into turn 6. I definitely don't think he's going to be going for another lap here, so it's all going to be up to Will Ans here as he makes his way now into Vale. Now, Will Ans has done a good job so far of not invalidating the lap. He's gotten through every tricky part of the circuits as far as that respect is, and into the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. He goes P12. Great lap for him.
Yeah, and that makes him safe.
Average.
Yeah, you gotta take the safety really. I bet he thought he was going to be safe no matter what, but with DDL coming in late, it kind of threw a wrench into the whole scheme. But it is the man who joins late. DDL will be the one eliminated in the Q1. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really take too much from Q1 with only one car being eliminated, but I'd say the surprise for me is to see Tiger NASCAR up in pole, quite honestly. But I think
Yeah.
there's some left on the table for both the Alfa Romeo teammates there. I think they can find themselves up a little bit higher.
No, I would not be surprised with those, like you were saying, with the Alfa Romeos, a little bit down the grid, but of course Q1, you're just trying to make it through into the top 15, maybe keeping a little something something in your back pocket for Q2, Q3, quite possibly. But seeing Tiger NASCAR up there, I'm hearing you guys saying it's a little bit of a shock, but I do know. When I've seen Tiger NASCAR reserve up in Division 3 from Division 4, he did a very, very good job of keeping up with some of the best that we have here in Division 3. So there is that surprise there just from seeing a Division 4 driver up there. But I do have to give a little bit of praise to Tiger NASCAR just on the pace that he's been able to show. So I would not be surprised to see him over near the top medium portions of the order as these qualifying sessions play out.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of the final order for Q1 here, Tiger NASCAR, as you said, taking, well, I don't want to say pole, but he sets the fastest lap for Q1. Soy Loco takes second, mere 4/100ths of a second off. Houdini in third, 5/100ths of a second off. 1/10 of a second separating all of the top four. Hammer in fifth, Matt Rosie sixth, Young DJ in seventh, VTech eighth, Subtle ninth, 10th is Scuba Steve. Helg in 11th, Will Ants 12th, 13th Detail, 14th Jenna to win it, and then for some reason I just can't even see the other. Oh, here we go. I forgot. This is what I don't like about this game. You have to actually press the thing and then scroll through it, which it's a text message and then DDL, your final two in that. But yeah, Q1 pretty interesting, I'd say. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how, particularly Will Ans comes back. But I tell you what, Soy Loco put together a really solid lap in that AlphaTauri. As I said, 4/100ths of a second off provisional pole at the moment. So yeah, I think here in Q2 we're going to really start to see some better laps being put down.
Yeah, I do have to. I have to agree with that. Now, of course, my last little blip with Q1 was, as you guys mentioned, up until DDL jumped in with less than 5 minutes to go, we were kind of in this exact same situation of the every driver making it through. So it does lead me to believe that maybe some of the drivers, like those Alfa Romeos we were talking about, do have a little something hidden here for Q2, for Q3. Now that the times. I guess I'll be honest, matter a little bit more than what they did just back in that Q1 session for the longest time.
Yes, that's a very good point, as well as Jinnit to win it. I think it was Hotspot. You made the point of how far off he was the pace of his teammate in Mystic Joker there. So maybe we're going to be seeing a little bit more from him here in Q2.
Well, I'd hope so. I definitely hope so. I know for a fact Jinnit to win it, and Mr. Joker definitely earning the rights of these Williams. Well,
Yeah.
it sounds weird when you put it that way,
Yeah,
but definitely earning the rights to be the two arguably best drivers in the league. And I'd tell you what, I think Jinnit, from my experience racing him in F2, quality might be a different story, but once he's on track, he is definitely a very, very hard driver to defend against. So even if he does qualify a little bit further back, I'm sure he can find his way through the field a little bit easier.
I believe it was you, actually, Hotspot, that made the point of. I think, yes, it was, because you said having Jinnit to win it behind you is one of the worst feelings you can have, is because of how much. Yeah, he hounds you every corner. He's constantly like nicking at the heels and just wanting to force you into something, or just waiting until you just give him something.
He does, and I tell you what, that is probably one of the biggest gaps between, say even Division 2 and Division 1 is these Division 1 guys will force you into a mistake, like in any way, shape, or form. It's honestly, and it's in ways that you don't even expect as well. I mean, these guys honestly, you see them in your rearview mirror, you start to worry a little bit, and rightfully so as well, because these guys are definitely the best drivers in the league, and definitely a mess to go against for sure.
Now, if you give me a second here, following up, before you kind of get into something, if you are waiting for a point, I'm just going to kind of reintroduce the stream here to everyone that is just joining or just entering in for the first time ever watching the Midwest F1 League. This is our interdivision challenge. I think challenge is pretty good. This is our interdivision challenge with all 4 divisions in our league. I guess next season will be 5. That'll be interesting. But anywho, 4 divisions right now. We've picked the top 4 drivers out of each division. In Division 1, we have given them the worst cars in the realistic settings. So they'll be representing the Williams and the Haas. In Division 2, we've given the Alpha duo slash Quadro of Alfa Romeo and Alpha Tauri. In Division 3, or no, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Division 2, yes, both the Alphas.
Yes. Okay, Division 3, here we go, Ferrari and Alpine. Okay, and then Division 4, we have Aston Martin as well as McLaren. So only one driver was eliminated here in Q1 as we're doing a full qualifying session here for the challenge, and that would be DDL and the Aston Martin. So this is where it's really going to start hurting to not put up some decent lap times in qualifying. Every lap pretty much is going to mean something here now. We'll have to see what these drivers can do. But we kind of had we all kind of had an agreements there of Alfa Romeo, kind of expecting a little bit more from them. Who else, what other team do we feel is a guarantee, or not a guarantee, or a close guarantee to both drivers making it through Q2? Fallon, do you have any thoughts on that?
I will, but I also would like to ask if one of you could be so kind to send me an invite into the lobby so I can.
Fair enough.
So I can start exploring a little bit more what's going on the field. That would be fantastic.
Oh, okay.
But
do you got him hotspot or?
Let's see if I can.
I can do it quick here. Don't worry.
Do I not even have him? I feel bad now. I only get to share the booth with him 2 times a year. And, I'll work on that.
I got you. I got it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No worries. Quickly before you get into it, Fallon, while you're joining up, Mystic actually said that I thought it was a second set of softs, but it was just the game was leading me on there. It was actually still his only first set of softs there in Q1, so he was smart. Here we go. Is that details?
An interesting situation here. Whilst you were giving your spiel of what this event is all about, we saw VTEC go off on exit of left field there, turn 7, right before that little go down the national pit straight. I think that's what it's called. So he's set a 155 at the moment. I think he's cooked his tires for one thing, and number 2, he's definitely got a lot of work to do. Put himself back into contention. Now, of course, a lot of drivers haven't made their time lapse yet, but he might want to get on that.
Now, Will Ans is actually on a set of mediums here, is invalidated. Must have lost it somewhere, as he was also sitting at 2 minutes, but he's on to a true hot lap here. We'll see if he's going to try and sneak his way through Q2 with some mediums. That'd be quite the strategy if he could. Oh, wow. Pork chops, no, I'm not using the capture card now. I'm still waiting for some layouts to come my way from ULEC there, and then I'll be able to get into it. As well as the capture card's weird. You either need to buy an extension or like an adaptive cable to allow PlayStation parties in, or you need to just go through Discord. So I'm not sure what I'm exactly going to be doing quite yet. Ooh, Will Ans nearly bins it. But saves it, and I think he's just going to still take this time, but he definitely will need to improve on this lap. And Fallen, did you see the message from Monkey Mafia in Twitch chat there?
Let me just take a quick peek here. Perfect. Oh, my monkey brother, Monkey Mafia, in there. Just saw it now as I'm getting used to the new interface. Wish me luck, everyone, as I don't see a spectate option like there was in F1 2020. So I guess I'll just have to join session and hope that it doesn't put me into a car.
Oh, is there? Yeah, it's triangle. Is there a triangle option? If not, then you're gonna have to join a car and then crash out right out of the gate, or you'll have to retire. So you just cause it.
I wish I knew about the triangle option about 3 seconds before I hit the X button.
No, you're good. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I don't think you can. We had that issue with the Matt Rosie. Matt Rosie spinning out, but yeah, that was quite the ecstatic spin. Able to pick himself up, doesn't completely lose the car, still has it intact, but he's going to have to come into the pit, and he's running out of time, and those tires are piping hot. Only 6 minutes left in qualifying, and only half the field, or just over half the field, has set a qualifying time. You know, VTEC's time is looking pretty good right now with the amount of people to not set a time.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, it's only, 20 seconds off the pace, but,
yeah.
You know, Matt Rosie, one of those drivers coming, I think the early couple races at Div 2 this past season, really just coming fast out of the gates, and really blossoming into an absolutely brilliant driver here. Now, he's in the Haas, one of the obviously worst cars in the field, but you know, I kind of looked at him and I said, you guys were talking about who you think will be able to get into the next session. I think Matt Rosie could probably. Would you consider an upset though? I don't know. It kind of feels like it'd be somewhat of an upset to me.
I went because he's.
I
think he's the only man. Yeah, he's the only driver other than Fredhead to take a race win off of Mystic Joker in Division 1 this year. So you can't call it too much of an upset. There's only three drivers to win a race in Division 1, and Mystic Joker won 10 of them. So Matt Rosie was one of those guys. So he has the pace. But Unit Twin, I did have the second most amount of podiums in Division 1 as well. So, good looks to him. VTEC improves up to 7th now. As he felt like that 155 wasn't enough.
Yeah, right. I guess he wasn't feeling too confident about that 155. Thought about improving on the softs, and a bit more of a respectable time now with that 128.
Just imagine if you just retired and pitched with the 155. That's good enough. You guys won't touch that.
It's fine.
Yeah, that'll get me through.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Young DJ has just set the fastest lap of the day on the medium compound. I think, honestly, that's faster than Tiger NASCAR's last session.
I think he went 127.5, did he not? Because Mystic went 127.9. And then I'm pretty sure Tiger NASCAR beat him by 4/10 in session 1. So he's not too far off the pace of that, but on the mediums, that's quite impressive. And even Tiger NASCAR set his lap on the mediums as well. So quite a few of these drivers are trying to sneak through here, but there's going to be some in the danger zone, that being Jinnit, and even Mystic Joker right now is sitting as well, someone in the danger zone with 4 drivers still yet to set a time, and all 4 are coming out on the softs.
Yeah, and I'm looking here with the, at least as far as the best times are concerned, only 3 of the drivers who have a time set so far are on the softs. Everybody else on the mediums. So looking at these 4 drivers who have yet to set a time coming out on the softs, I think it'll really shake up the order. So you're sitting where, you know, Soy Loco, Houdini, even the 2, I'll be honest, the 2 Williams there as well. I'd be a little bit worried, maybe hoping to get back out and get one more lap set, because I don't think Soy Loco, I don't think his 129.8 is going to be is going to last too long with these soft tire runners.
Oh, Hammer lost it. Sorry. Oh, he just barely saves it from the wall. Sorry about that.
Oh man.
He was right in the middle of a spin. He's
Oh,
able to
no
save it.
worries.
I don't know how he saved that. He was very close. But if you remember the rest of your thought there, then by all means finish it.
I think, thankfully for me, I think Hammer or yourself waited for right up until I was finished my thought to go for the spin, so it worked out well.
Oh, there we
But
go.
seeing Hammer at Cops, it's the I mean it's the first spin out I've seen here at Cops so far. But I mean I do want you guys' input on here. But I know in my personal Silverstone practice when I'm running laps. I feel like it's a much trickier corner this year compared to last year to take. Already Cops being a very difficult corner, but every time I try to go flat, at least in my own practice, I end up exactly like Hammer, but with no front wing. Do you guys feel a little bit similar, or is that just a me thing?
I think we lost Matt Rosie around that corner as well. Subtle, but Hole goes fifth. But what's your take on that hotspot?
I tell you what, I have to agree with that, but also something I've noticed which we're actually about to see Matt Rosa go through now. Maggots, Beckett's, and that little chain of corners that feels a lot easier to me for some reason than it did last game. I don't know. So couple changes to this game, obviously. I'm not sure. I haven't, of course, turned many laps at Silverstone just yet, but the ones that I have done, that has felt just a little bit easier to me. You see, Mystic Joker and Jinnen both outside the top 10 now. Not a lot of time left. You could say I'm a little worried, but as we see, Janet's when it is going through Stowe and into Vale shortly, so he's going to definitely have a chance to start another time lap here. And is he on? Well, yeah, so Janet is on a fresh set of softs. Mystic is on obviously lap hold, but yeah, they definitely got to get something going here, guys. This is not looking the best for the Williams team.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like they're on
it's
a
looking
lap.
very bleak for Division One drivers there.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the while I was watching Matt Rosie and he essentially toes that Haas car up into fourth on the softs. And I mean, given it's the Haas, it's a pretty blistering 120, well 128.1 or from what I saw. But oh no,
Oh, he's
but
crashed.
actually, oh no, on the in lap too. So all that work is gonna end up for naught as I think he's gonna be out of qualifying now because of that crash.
Not only that, but Will Ans, I've just gone along with now, has completely been this car somewhere on the track. His front wing is gone, so Will Ans, another one of those drivers, very close to the bubble. Yeah, that's going to be something interesting to watch out
Um,
for sure.
Oh, and
I'm on
heartbreak
with
for
Mystic.
Jinnit.
Mystic is coming around. Oh, sorry, Jinnen is gone. Mystic comes over the line and just knocks Willands out. But go ahead there.
I was just gonna say it's a heartbreak for Jinnit because going through Maggots and Beckett's took a corner a little bit too closely to the line. Stewart's didn't like that, and that's an invalidation on that last lap he had. So will not be able to improve. And I can see going into the pits the frustration in the in that Williams cockpit for Jinnit there.
Oh, that's tough to see, but it looks like the 5 drivers that will be eliminated will be Willands, Hammer, Houdini, VTech, and Jinnit to win it. And we're getting into Q3 here. Matt Rosie, he won't be able to set a time in Q3 if
No,
or will
I
they
think
fix his
because of
car?
the yeah, for the realism aspect, I think he's made it through, but I don't think he's going to be able to qualify in Q3s. I think he's going to be forced to start in 10th on the grid. Just a little bit unfortunate because that was a really solid time for Matt Rosie there. That would have put him up around P4, P5 by the end of the session.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. Uh, I think he lost around turn 7 there. He's in chat right now, Matt. If you want to tell us what happened, let just punch into chat if you can if you can silence your nerves and your emotions happening right now after that crash. By all means, let us know. We'd love to hear from you there, Mr. Rosie. But anywho, on to Q3. We actually did lose one of our Alfa Romeo drivers there from our surprise. The it was actually Scuba Steve, the man to finish second in Division 2, got himself through where the drivers' champion, Will Ans, was not able to. So a little bit of an upset there, to be honest. And as well, kind of same with Division 4 there, as the Division 4 champion, Hammer, he set his time on mediums, but it wasn't quick enough. Dead text message not taking the chance, came over in the softs and pushes himself into Q3. So we'll see what he can do as the second place Division 4 driver takes out the first place Division 4 driver. A little bit of a surprise there.
I'm gonna say it looks like it might not have been the best Q2 for the division champions, because I'm also seeing Houdini, who won the Division 3 championship, down in the lowly P12, I think it was, out of Q2 here in Silverstone. All the while, second place in Division 3, young DJ CJ, I think was fairly high up in the or not, as I'm not. Oh no, he is there in P7, but I can't quite remember where he finished up in Q2. But yeah, it doesn't look like Q2 here in Silverstone was too great for the champions here.
So now getting into Q3, Hotspot, we'll start with you. I'll finish it up after you go after him. Their Fall Monkeys. But what's our prediction with the front row 1 and 2? What are you feeling, Hotspot?
I tell you what, Soy Loco has been very, very much impressed me so far. I think Soy Loco could pull off an upset here and get himself on the front row. Maybe the second row. I think, I don't want to say definitely, because the moment I say that, it's not going to happen. But definitely look out for Soy Loco here. Scuba Steve's in it as well. Now, I tell you what, I'm just looking in the Discord. It's popping up on my phone as we're doing this. He is definitely not happy with how fast that Alfa Romeo is. And as far as I remember, obviously in racing, the more you get frustrated, the more mistakes you start to make. So hopefully he can keep himself calm and put himself together a good result here. But don't take Mystic Joker out of the equation here. Definitely not. But definitely look out for Soy Loco in this session.
Okay, fair enough. What about you there, Fallen?
Well, I was gonna say to keep an eye out on Soy Loco, watching his qualifying here today, but I think Hotspot beat me to it. So for the sake of putting another name out there, another name that we've seen, Tiger NASCAR, currently out on an outlap right now. He's been pretty consistent with his qualifying in Q1, Q2. I think he's a driver to be looking out for, and of course, I gotta go with my guy, young DJ CJ, in the Alpine here as another driver to look forward to. And I do think, you know what, let's say Tiger NASCAR and young DJ CJ as my front row in no particular order here.
Fair enough. I'm gonna as well kind of go with my guy as well. I think Mystic Joker's gonna get up in the top row, but I also think that we're gonna see Scuba Steve alongside him. And I'm gonna give a shout out actually to Helg for making it into Q3. He was actually a fill-in for this race. He didn't actually finish in the top 4 of Division 1. He finished in actually the bottom half of it all. But he's done well, and he's beaten out Jinnit to win it and Matt Rosie in qualifying here, and taken out a couple of his Division 1 counterparts to move up into a potential a definite top 9 qualifying start. So we'll have to see what he can pull out here. But like I said earlier, I think it's going to be Mystic Joker and Scuba Steve sitting 1-2. But everyone knows commentators curse, so we'll see what can happen.
Of course.
Yeah, especially with me in the booth, of all people.
Oh, trust me, I get hit with it. I get dinged all the time. I don't know if you saw
do you?
Yeah, no, the LFR battle. I was announcing Mystic Joker as the winner on turn 9 of Austria, where he gets his final penalty to put him over the line to lose the race.
Oh no!
Yeah. I was absolutely speechless. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I'd believe it either.
I should have shut up. Sometimes good commentating is not commentating. And I've learned that.
Oh yeah.
Whose idea was it to put the 3 most unlucky commentators in the same booth together? This is going to be an absolute mess.
Yeah, fair enough.
I definitely have that as well. Oh, one driver I do want to point out there real quick, Dead Text Message, who has silently, I don't feel like we brought up his name quite that much, but he's put himself into the top 9 here, and I tell you what, he's got himself in a McLaren, and look out for him as well. I feel he could definitely do
Oh
some
my.
damage here.
Tiger NASCAR beat Scuba Steve by nearly
Wow,
an entire second right out of the gates. I think that's
126.
the first time we've seen the 126, is it not?
That's ridiculous. Honestly.
Detail 2 seconds off the pace. Fallen's boy, young DJ CJ, coming around the final turn, and he goes 3/10 off, so quite the blistering time, but not good enough right now. Invalidation from Soyo Loco, subtle but whole. He's coming around the final couple of turns, but he looks like he's way off the pace here, and actually he goes third. Way off is actually not too far off, in my opinion, I guess.
No, still a good time from Settle there with what the 127.7, considering the realistic performance here of the cars. Good enough for third, but with Tiger NASCAR breaking into the 126s, and I think the first driver here today to break into the 126s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so really setting the bar here for some of these other drivers with already down to less than 7 minutes to go here in this Q3. Q3's been flying by, boys, here today.
Yeah,
But
very,
I think we'll have more laps to come.
very
Or
true,
more.
very true. Ooh, Soya Loco drifts or exiting Maggots and Beckics in turn 13. That was quite fun.
And I've been along with him for this. He's invalidated his lap now, actually, I believe, going through cops. And at the time, it seemed like an absolute great lap. Um, so, yeah, good first him already. It's all good. He's still got some time left. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I feel like he's just kind of maybe throwing. Does he have enough set tires? I don't think he does. But there's a lot of time left in the session. Still some time left. Do some damage here for all 9 of these guys. Now, honestly, I want to ask this question because we were impressed with this format last time.
Oh, Helg spins
Oh,
out.
no.
Sorry, around turn 7.
Helg is. Oh wow, he is proper gone there, isn't he?
No, he's okay.
That's
It was
definitely not a good place to go off.
no, he saved it though, but he just a little bit too heavy on the throttle, finds himself spinning out, and just shows how much this game can bite you by doing so. But he actually set a purple sector 1. But anywho, Hotspot, get on to your question there, my friend.
Well, I was just going to ask, because we were impressed with this format last year, and I think so far it's proven pretty exciting. Would you guys want to see this 3-session qualifying in the regular weekly divisions? Because honestly, I think the fact that we keep doing this in this, seasonal challenge that we have, it proves pretty exciting. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
It does. The one argument to play devil's advocate would be the time change for a lot of people, because there are several people that kind of like get right home from work and whatnot, or
Oh yeah, you did point there. That is true.
yeah, because we kind of race all across North America, and starting at 6 and then ending a little bit later as well with the full qualifying, as well as having at some points 10 people sit for 15 minutes and just watching may not sit well with a lot of people. I feel like I casting view, I don't care about those people sitting, but racing, I think it wouldn't. I don't think it sit well with some people, just especially if they DNF right out of the gate and they're just waiting a half hour or whatnot for So we'll yeah, I'd like it. Casting side of it, I think it'd be great, but driving side of it, it might suck for some.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say too with it. As from a casting perspective, you love it. It brings on the upsets, brings on the shocks of drivers we might expect to see in Q3 getting knocked out in Q2, getting knocked out even in Q1, as I've seen. But as a driver, it can get very, very long, and you can just completely lose the mojo of the race compared to the short qualifying. I know I've seen some that honestly they get knocked out at Q1 and they've got so much time to kill. They'll go out and they'll have a drink on the patio while they're waiting for qualifying to end. So it does make things a little bit lengthy in that aspect too. And like you mentioned, the time for those coming home from work, but also the other end too, with the races extending a little bit later. For those who are maybe a bit more on the eastern end of the time zones here, ending already late-ish. If you're working a 9 to 5, extending that a little bit can mess with the sleep schedules a little bit too. But here, as we're approaching the end of qualifying, 2.5 minutes to go. It doesn't correct me if I'm wrong, but from the initial laps, it doesn't look like we've had too much movement in the top 9 order here. Could change though, as Soy Loco looks to be starting a lap here, coming through that first DRS straight. We'll see what the sector time is going to look like for him. Purple in Sector 1, so it's a good start for Soy Loco. Let's see if he can continue that, keep that clean lap, and possibly maybe even use Detail that's a little bit ahead of him, maybe for a little bit of a tow, if they can time it right past Magus and Beckett's down that hanger straight. Looking like a decent line through Magus and Beckett's. Purple Sector 2 time for him with the 103.4. Doesn't look like Detail was looking to give him too much of a tow there. I think Detail looking to set his own lap time, had his own agenda there too for the AlphaTauri. But going back to back, we'll see what the times are going to look like for him. First comes Detail. What's it gonna be? Did he improve? Didn't look like it. Soy Loco though, up into second here, splitting Tiger NASCAR and Young DJ CJ. Good lap time for him, a near 127 flat for the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Helg's still without a timer, getting low on time here. He's warming up his tires, coming down that hanger straight. We'll see what he can do. Of course, we got to remember Matt Rosie will start in 10th. But yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. It looks like dead text message and subtle, but Hole won't be able to set another time. But it's gonna get intense pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Scuba Steve coming around Vale and Club very shortly. Now, thankfully for him, he doesn't need to cut the whole track to start another time, which, if you were along for Div 2 France, you saw Scuba Steve pretty much cut the entire circuit to try to get back to the start line in time, which was quite comical to watch as, he's just completely driving off track.
Oh no. I'm so sorry to cut you off there, but riding with Young DJ CJ as he was on a lap here, losing it through Magus and Beckett's, clipping the curb a little bit too much, going for a little bit of a spin, and that's going to be the end of his qualifying there.
Soyo comes over the line and can't overtake Tiger NASCAR, currently sitting second. His teammate Detail will come into the pit. DJ is the only man in Sector 3 right now, but like you said, he has just spun out. Tiger NASCAR is 600s off of his time, did set a purple Sector 2.
And Ben's right. Scuba Steve has gone around on exit at Cops, and, he's only got 3 tires on that car now as he's coming out of the corner. And looked to be on a very good lap as well, I will say. He was able to have a very good lap going. I believe went purple in Sector 1, and, that's going to be the end of his session.
So Mystic Joker's just going to finish up the final turn here. He can't get into the 126s, but does go fourth. Helga's going to come over with his only time set around the final turn, and unfortunately goes last. Didn't give himself enough time to improve, or actually, I guess, to improve off of nothing, but to try and set a time and then to improve off of it. So 9th place where Helg will sit, alongside his teammate actually with Matt Rosie. So the Haas's will sit in the last half, or in the last 2 spots of the front half of the grid. That works out.
Yeah, but as far as I was looking at Helg's lap there a little bit, I feel a lot of that might have just been the Haas being the Haas, because it looked like a pretty good lap all throughout, but unfortunately a P9 for him there.
But anywho, I guess we'll go through the final qualifying order here. We're going to see Tiger NASCAR up in pole alongside Soyo Loco. I think each of you guys called one of those drivers out, did you not?
I
I called Soy
believe
Loco. I know that
so.
much.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think Monkey called Tiger.
There you go. Okay, well done to both of you. Young DJ CJ finishing third alongside Mystic Joker. Sudbut Hole in fifth. Dead Text Message sixth. Scuba Steve in seventh. Detail eighth. Helg, like I said, alongside of his teammate Matt Rosie in ninth and 10th. But quickly, if you don't actually subscribe to the Midwest F1 League, we've actually gone in and made some really fun emotes there. So throw it all tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Go check them out. Well, I guess the only way for you to check them out is to actually subscribe. I actually did a Midwest F1 retro in one of the tiers, so a little bit of a shout out to our old logo. What do you actually quickly? I don't think I haven't really discussed with you guys about our logos. What do you guys feel about the new logo?
Hype. That's all I can say. Honestly, it looks like. I mean, I like the old logo too, but this just it looks better. It puts on this face for the league. It just looks so clean and nice, honestly, and it's going to be super nice to use in the intros as well. Which, by the way, new league intros coming soon. Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
looks very good. I don't really know who did those. I didn't get a chance
It
to
was Ulek
see who
Hulivin.
it was.
He
Great
races down in
job to you.
Division 4.
You've done it good. I'll say that much.
Yeah, completely agree. What's your take on it there, Fallen?
uh, I'm completely sorry. I completely missed the question, and
Oh, it's
as
just the new
I'm
new logo of the league.
Oh, I love the new logo of the league. It actually when I saw it over on the Discord, gave me a shock at first. I was trying to figure out what it was, but love the look. I've always been a fan of the simplistic style look. Nothing too fancy, but gets the point across. And my goodness, does it look good! Now, sorry for missing that there, as I'm trying to plot what the best place to crash out this car is, as I've been slingshot to the back of the grid here. Um,
Just maybe stay behind everyone, make it around turn 1, and then dump it into the pits.
yeah, that's the plan here. I wonder if I can. No, I can't retire during the formation lap, unfortunately.
Too bad, too bad. Oh, you got the Merc as well.
Oh, even better.
Oh, you've got the quickest car. No, actually, screw it. Just race it out if you got the quickest car. See what you can do. I'm just
On pad for the first time in 2 years. What could possibly go wrong?
There you go. Why not? Why not?
No, I might just get that. I'll take the worst start of all time and see if I can just retire the car. Just gotta find the wherever the best. No, not the runoff, but the where you can actually pull the car over and retire it safely.
Well, yeah, just make sure you pull off somewhere, and then retire. Because if you just retire, then the game will try and do it itself, and it might cause a
Yeah.
VSC.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Unless I just
Or
run a
yeah,
lap and pull into the
yeah,
pits.
yeah. I think all you got to do is just not spin. Actually, you can probably even spin, but just as long as you make it around before everyone else, then you should be good.
Yep, don't worry, full assists. Alright, so sit rep, looking to be a good formation lap here from what I can see trackside here from the from the cockpit of this Mercedes. Following DDL, looks like driver's doing a good job getting the tires heated up here, heading down the hangar straight. See how that translates to the start of the race here for 16 of the 17 drivers on the grid.
About half the grid has gone and fit the medium compound. One of those actually being Tiger NASCAR, who sits on pole. Young DJ in second, and Mystic Joker in fourth. The top three drivers who have fit the medium tires. Going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Soy Loco has the sauce, and he starts second on the grid. This is going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting here. We'll have to see how Fallen Monkeys can do all the way back in 17th place. He's coming into this completely ice cold, has zero practice in Silverstone. Well, we'll see how he can do. We're about to get underway here with the Interdivision Challenge here at Silverstone. I'm going to ride on board with Mystic Joker, see what the Division 1 champion can go. And a drive-through penalty, Soyo Loco. Oh, he absolutely jumps the gun. Mystic Joker is able to jump up into second place right away. I guess third place, but Soyo Loco is going to have to come to the pit. Soyo Loco actually jumps way too early and then just says screw it and sends it down the straight. He's going to have to drive through penalty at some point. Matt Rosie's already lost a couple positions at the midfield battle. Is very intense right now. A lot of drivers are getting real close. Will Ann's jumping up already into the top 10. Matt Rosie down to 13th, actually getting into a battle with his Division 1 counterpart there and gets pushed off a little wide there. Back into 13th place we go. Subtle but Hole trying to work on Mystic Joker in the Ferrari here. Not too often will you see a Williams ahead of a Ferrari, but right now it's actually the Ferrari going down the inside line of turn 7, and it looks like he's got Mystic Joker with Mystic going up onto the curb, and Subtle but Hole just has the complete pace advantage here on the Ferrari-powered, or the Mercedes-powered engine there. Ooh, and then young DJ, have a little bit of a Hamilton and Verstappen happen there, but everyone seems to be safe, and this race is well underway. Fallen Monkeys doing a good job of staying out of the mix. Will Ans is actually all the way up into 7th. Soy Loco DNFs, he's gone. Oh, he's crashed, and that's already one. All right, well, this is your chance there, Fallen. Just spin it.
Here, let's see where. Oh, should have.
And that's an
oh my god!
You can't even crash. You can't even crash the car.
No, as it tends to be the case, every time I try to bin it, I just break the front wing and leave the car intact. Here, let's do this. Don't worry, I'll be back in the booth soon enough. No!
Has he missed the? I think he's missed the finish.
Well,
I tried to.
He spun off of it.
You're probably just going to get a black flag, so. Somewhat of a Hamilton of Hockenheim in 2019 type of pit entry there. We're back to racing here. If Hotspot, you want to take it away, go ahead.
Yeah, so I tell you what, not too long ago, Will Ans and I believe it's young DJ went side by side going into Maggots and Beckett's, and Will Ans did a great job of saving the cars. They went really side by side going into it. Somehow, no DNF there, but I'm along with Hammer right now, and he's got young DJ in his sights. And I tell you what, it looks like right now the McLaren is slowly catching that Alpine, and it's going to be really tough to see here because also Hammer is on the soft compound, and now as they go into Maggots, they got a bunch of cars battling ahead of him as well. And
yeah, keep an eye out for Mystic Joker, dead text messages, and the two Alfa Romeos that were really getting at it here through Cops, Magus, and Beckett's. Settled down a little bit, but this is just going to be picking up now. Looks like Scuba Steve looking for a move down the inside now. Gets it done temporarily, but for how long, as it looks like they're just jostling for positions here.
Ooh, Dead defending back down the inside. That was very close. Good clean driving from both drivers here, and Dead goes for a switchback here. A little bit of contact. Wide goes Will Ans. Mystic has been able to open up the gap with this happening. Dead's taking a really awkward line into the turn. Scuba Steve is able to get it done. Will Ans just breaks in time. And breaking deep goes Will Ans, trying to send it around the outside. A little bit of contact. Yeah, Hammer got into the battle there. I did not even notice that.
Oh, and the McLarens touch again. Dead text message, I believe that was, when just a little bit wider than he would have enjoyed, gets into his teammate there, and now Will Ans has a good view of this battle, side by side, as they go into Brooklands. And I tell you what, it looks all clean for now, but I tell you what, Will Ans probably has had the best onboard out of any driver in the field so far this race. He's had every bit of action happen right in front of him.
Yeah, very true. And with all this happening, Subtle but Hole and Tiger NASCAR has kind of worked himself away. Looks like Hammer finally gets dead text message as well. Will Ans gets dead text message as we kind of work our way into Maggots and Beckett's here.
Yeah, that text message went a little bit wide through costs. Better to save the car and force the corner, but Will Ann's getting that much better line allowed him to make the fairly easy overtake past the first McLaren, and looks like Will Ann's is looking to go after the second McLaren now, going around the outside of I believe that's Stowe, if I recall correctly, and he got the move done up into
Whoa!
P5 now.
Dead text message got really late on the brakes and just swerved out around Hammer. I was on board with
Oh
young
no,
DJ.
young
Oh no,
DJ!
young DJ loses it. It goes
Oh,
back
man.
into a good part of on track, and that's our first full safety car, and the first washer brake for Crash.
Well, I tell you what. Uh, Fallen, did you get a good view of what happened there? I honestly didn't. I was on with the two McLarens there that have been battling
Yeah,
out this whole race.
I had caught it just right as I got out of the onboard of the watching the two McLarens. I guess not really much to say about it. Young DJ CJ just trying to get onto the power a little bit too soon on the exit of the final corner, and just putting a little bit too much power on that car, losing the back end. And with the wall on that right-hand side being so close, not much runoff. When you hit that wall, speaking out of experience, you just gotta hope that your car ends up in one piece. But unfortunately, that was not the case for young DJ CJ, and that is now another driver out and down to 14 runners here under the full safety car.
And I tell you what, and we've been going over, and I think we've been acting fairly surprised at this two McLaren cars battling. Remember, not one of these drivers are actually teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these guys are just doing it. They're in the cars because of how they finish in the championship standings. I will say the only pair of teammates that I recognize, Joker and Gina, were teammates in F2, but those guys I'm sure are battling it out quite heavily. As you remember from Div 2 this past season, Will Ans and Scuba Steve, formerly Uncle Ben's Rice, went for in the Drivers' Championship, both of them as a detail, picking up 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see not one of these drivers actually cares about the team or how it's going to do. They're just in it for themselves. And as we can see, the two McLaren guys have been battling the whole race. That has been super, super entertaining.
Yeah, and that's honestly, it's great that you mentioned that hotspot, because I was sitting here thinking, watching the two McLarens battling it out, thinking, well, you guys have the Alfa Romeos behind you. Use some teamwork, use some tow, try to create some separation. But no, I got to remind myself that nope, they're not actually teammates. They're just, like you said, in that car because that's the car they ended up on, and they're looking out for themselves more than the team game here, which is perfectly fine given the nature of the race. But it is something even I myself I have to remind myself here in the commentators booth that the teams are just the cars that they're in, not really much of a teamwork here. They might as well be in multiplayer cars here.
Yeah, might as well. And it's funny, if we want to develop that even further, at least on my point of view, we've just seen Hammer go into the pits, and the McLarens try to perform a double stack, and that has resulted in dead text message going back down to 13th. So that, if that's not any indication that these drivers are in it for themselves, I don't know what is. But something I did notice, just coming out of the pits, there's something that wasn't in the last game. They actually are able to pull out of the pit stalls now when someone else is trying to go in. They do us the justice of giving us ghosting for that point, so that's going to be welcome for sure. But yeah, that's a kind of a move there from Hammer, if I say so myself. A little bit interesting there for sure.
Now, those two drivers, Dead Text Message and Hammer, did finish 1-2 in the Division 4 Drivers' Championship last year, so they're very familiar with each other. Dead Text Message was actually able to steal his one and only race win at Singapore. Brought himself fairly close to Hammer, but Hammer was able to take it in the end. So these two are well aware of each other here, and we'll have to see if that friendly rivalry, as I'm going to assume, will carry over into Division 3. But like you said, Dead all the way back down to 13th. Actually, the meat in the sandwich of Matt Rosie and Helg, the two Haas teammates. So we'll see how that one plays out there.
But for Helga, I think the safety car is going to be a little beneficial for him. It's going to allow him just to catch up to the back of the grid and essentially have a fighting chance here moving forward once we get back to green flag racing. Because I caught that a little bit on lap 1 that he had that half spin through, I believe it was turn 7. And right from the get-go, it sent him a little bit far back behind the rest of the field order. And being in the Haas of all cars here with this realistic performance that we have, didn't help his case one bit. But probably a driver who was very happy to see that safety car come out here in these early stages.
I just want to get a quick shout out to Sparks F1 for the follow. Thank you very much, helping us get to our next goal. And I think, what do you guys think? 250, is that too much by the end of season 4? Should I lower it a little bit? I think 250. I think we can do 250.
I think we can hit 250. I tell you what, our social media team has been knocking it out of the park recently on just getting all these, honestly, hyping up the league a lot. And I know we do have a decent number of following on our social media page. I do want to point out for 1 second, though, we had a decent amount of drivers coming for the softs. Janet to win it, instead of fitting the hards like everyone else, has fit the softs. So either he's done homework that no one else has, or he's made a crucial mistake.
Yeah, maybe realizing that, hoping that with the pace of the soft tires, maybe that power he has in the Alpine, hoping to snag a few positions. I did notice very quickly as the safety car is coming in, DDL up to P6, up 10 positions from the start of the race. Did benefit from not pitting, but still a solid drive from him there, and puts himself in a great position now that we're coming through the restart with Tiger NASCAR leading the way across the line, heading towards turn 1 now. Let's see who is...
Tiger gets away really well, actually. He's already opened up a good gap to Subtle. Mystic is staying close. Subtle but Hole is on some older softs here, so those are going to start falling off. And Scuba Steve and Mystic Joker will be able to take advantage of that fairly quickly here. Jinnit looks like he gets an early overtake on Hammer there, as anticipated, being on those softs.
Yeah, Jinnit just taking a nice line, a little bit of a switchback move, and getting that better acceleration, getting past Hammer. And a little bit further ahead, Willands thought about putting a little bit of pressure on VTEC, but unfortunately that first DRS straight ended just a little bit too soon before he could get alongside. But I think for Willands it might just be a matter of time before he really gets to challenge VTEC for that P7.
He wants to get him fairly quickly here because he's got Jinnit to win it on these softs coming right at him. Dead Text Message picks up the first track limits penalty this evening. 3 seconds to him.
Man, speaking of, just Jinnit now alongside Willands.
Oh, he comes across.
And who was that?
VTEC.
VTEC.
In a completely unrelated incident, I caught it was Jinnit and Will Ans making contact with one another, but I think VTEC a little bit further ahead, maybe just losing the back end, could have rode the curb a little bit too much on the exit of that corner, but VTEC out of the race, and it brought out another virtual safety car here.
It's very unforgiving, these curbs.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah. Isn't flashback a wonderful thing?
Yep. Flashback is great.
Oh, Dead Text Message gets two positions there coming around turn 5. He gets Matt Rosie and Detail, and he's back up right behind his teammate in air quotes. But yeah, sorry, go ahead there, Rose. They're falling.
Oh, I was just saying, when it comes to the curbs here so far this game, I could probably write a 10-page essay about how much I dislike the curbs and the physics with the curbs here. 'Cause I love to ride the curbs, but so far this game, it's really teaching me that no, I can't really do that anymore. I got to stay within the lines.
Yeah, fair enough. Dead Text Message is really attacking these curbs coming through Maggots and Beckett's here, and he's actually right alongside his teammate now. Gets a good run coming down the hanger straight here, but looks like Hammer does just enough. He's actually into the toe of Jinnit and pulls away. Jin's kind of feeling the
but
pressure a little
don't
bit.
count. I was
Oh,
just gonna say,
dead
don't
text
count
message
Matt
coming down.
Rosie out of this either.
Sorry, the two teammates, dead text message and Hammer, were battling there. Hammer was worried a little bit too much about Jin as Jin is into the pits, and Dead was able to actually poke the position away and up into 7th place with Jinnit coming into the pit. Goes the second, I guess, McLaren in dead text message.
And these guys have been battling, specifically those two McLarens have been battling this whole race so far, but another thing I want to point out, Subtle but Hole, not that far off of Tiger NASCAR, only 0.8 of a second or thereabouts as he goes through the DRS section now. Now, Subtle is on those old soft compound tires, and surely they're going to be falling away shortly. But I tell you what, he's doing a good job of keeping up with Tiger NASCAR. It's slowly starting to creep up just a little bit, but meanwhile, Mr. Joker has slowly been closing in on Subtle as they head through Cops now, and I do want to throw it out to you, Fallen. You have merit to your claim there, as I have not seen one driver take Cops completely flat, as we were almost able to last game. So yeah, you've got a point there, as not one driver on the soft, medium, or hard compound was able to do it. But here comes Mystic Joker with the DRS into Stowe. He's going to switch back to the outside. Suttle's going to cover that line quite nicely, and I tell you what, he's doing a good job of holding off for now. As they head into Vale, however, see if Mystic has anything for him, and no, it looks like Subtle is going to keep the position for now, though within 0.5 of a second, that position is not safe.
Oh no, but very crucially though, just looking at this battle, the that gap that Tiger NASCAR made up to 1.3, but very crucially, the top three now are starting to run away. Scuba Steve down in 4th, 2 seconds behind Mystic Joker, and the gap's been staying even, but it looks like it's been growing just ever so slightly, that tiny little bit. And even behind Scuba Steve, 4 seconds back is Houdini in 5th. Running in clean air, but Houdini kind of stuck in a no man's land here, running his own race up in P5. But we'll see how this is all going to play out, I guess, once these top 6 runners finally do take their pit stops to get on the fresh set of boots.
So now net right now, dead text message sitting highest with the highest man to pit in this race, and he's definitely going to be able to make these softs go the distance. So we'll see where these drivers come out after they pit or when they do pit. They are increasing the gap to those drivers on hards. There was a crazy midfield battle for a moment there, but several of them came into the pit. It looks like Hammer had some damage as he was really moving down through the pack, as well as Matt Rosie did. Jinnit Twinnett finds himself back into 12th, actually right behind the teammate of Matt, or the Division 1 counterpart of Matt Rosie here. Very important, Subtle but Hole is just sitting outside of DRS on Tiger NASCAR. If Mystic can just get enough of a run at him where Subtle doesn't have DRS, that could be his way up. And oh no, Matt Rosie has gone off around Cops, and he's going to go back down into 13th place, and with some very hot tires. Dead text message has actually caught DDL and sends it around the outside, coming around turn 3 into the dive of 4. He's got the position. He's got 6th place and has moved up. Now he's going to try and hunt down Houdini as well, as dead text message is looking pretty good as he's trying to open up a gap to Helg as well. But that penalty to dead text message will kind of change things in the end here. But I think I've talked long enough here.
But to throw it about dead text message, I was watching that battle for a little while. I tell you what, dead text message, really, not only does he look like he has pace right now, but he was forcing DDL into so many mistakes. Specifically, he lost the majority of his time going through Stowe, and it was just like, it almost looked like the DDL was nervous, almost, to say the least. But dead text message, doing the best he can to catch up to Houdini. Now, he is on the hard compound, and as we look there,
Will Ans.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but going through Cops, another victim of Cops Corner. It looks like doing a donut or two just to get back. Gets a 10-second time penalty for that for good measure. That's unfair. That's just unfair there.
Just kicking him when he's down.
Yeah.
Mystic actually setting fastest lap here. Helg and Detail were getting into a pretty good battle. Detail gets the better of him in the end, as both drivers are trying to catch down a DDL as well. Willans now drops into that secondary pack, and Jin, Willans, and Hammer now. Oh, Matt Rosie DNF. Did I miss that?
Yeah, I think he went bits in DNF, honestly.
Yeah,
Oh, he did go into the pits. He went into the pits and DNF'd, and his AI pulled him out. So yeah, that's it for Matt Rosie here. We lose another driver, unfortunately. Detail going very deep, and actually finds himself off track. Helg sending it around the outside here as we come through turn 7. A little bit of contact. Helg goes up on the curb. He's got to ride it all the way around. Still going to battle it all the way, and we're going to drag down the secondary pit lane and around Cops, and Helg sent it deep and nearly got the back of Detail there, but Detail holds off and still holds on to 9th place as we come through Maggots and Beckett's. And it looks like Mystic is getting real close to Subtle but Hole here as well.
Yeah, and I've been riding on board with Mystic here. He's one of the things I noticed. He's making up a lot of time in Cops, being able to find that line with that full throttle. But unfortunately, you can't really overtake through Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel, and then getting down to the hangar straight. Settle with that Ferrari power was just had more straight line speed than Mystic Joker in the Haas with these realistic performance. So unfortunately getting close, but just not able to get close enough to get the overtake done. But it didn't really matter as Settle finally took his pit stop here, putting on that fresh set of tires. Mystic, meanwhile, continuing on with those mediums.
Yeah, Will Ance is retired from session as well. So down to 11 drivers. Detail is working on DDL as DDL softs are really falling off now. Losing some pace to dead text message here. And yeah, that's a good point for Monkey Mafia. Helg is actually set up fairly well here as well. Another one of the only drivers to have pit. Currently sitting net 3rd place, as all the drivers ahead, except for Dead and Detail, still need to pit. So we'll see how it plays out for the the man you can say that doesn't actually deserve to be here. He's showing that he can be here. So I mean, good looks to Helg. He's actually going to try and get past DDL here as well. And sends it around the outside, and he's going to get the job done as DDL's softs are completely gone.
Yeah, and wisely DDL dives into the pits there to finally get off those softs that are screaming at him, I think, by now.
Oh, and Detail has DNF'd on exits of Woodcote there, and
just
that
a
was
VSC.
quite unexpected. And that's surprising as well. So he's gone and lost it under his own error there, as his tires weren't close to falling off. He's on 8-lap-old hards, but this is going to be the time for some of these drivers to hit like any of the top 4 right now. As you can see, Jinitwina also doing his job to come in. He's also picked up 5 seconds of time penalties. I'm just looking in the Discord now, and it looks like Will Ants is not happy. I don't know who he's not happy with, but apparently there was more to his incident there in Cops than we initially saw.
Let's see, because I missed it. I saw the yellow flag, saw Will Lanz's car off in no man's land there, but it was at that point it was a little bit too late. But when I was looking at the onboards, looking at where Detail's car was, it appeared to be a very similar, at least at first glance, could have been a very similar incident to what happened to young DJ CJ a little bit earlier on. Just coming around the final corner, putting a little bit too much power on that car, maybe riding the curb a little bit for extra measure. And once again, that wall on the right-hand side along the start-finish straight does not leave much room for error there. Not much runoff there on that right-hand side. And unfortunately, the dice did not roll in Detail's favor that time.
And something interesting about this game is it's actually been upgraded to a full safety car. So we're seeing a lot of these drivers come in now. I'm thinking Elgin, he's coming in as well.
I didn't even notice.
Why has Helgeland come in again? He's on
I
8-lap old hards. He probably could have done the whole race, but he's chosen to come in. That's an interesting choice.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he may have been second, but all the drivers behind, if they had a second set of mediums or softs, then he would have been absolutely screwed with there only being 11 laps left. So maybe coming in, feeling the need to put. Now he does have a fresh set of mediums. Mystic actually goes with a fresh set of softs, as well as Houdini. NASCAR and Scuba Steve, I guess, were forced into a fresh set of hards, maybe not having a set of mediums left. So that's quite different. A couple of different tire compounds coming out for the last little bit. Dead Text Message is the only man to stay out on the hards. Now he's actually still set up fairly decent. He's just got to hold off Mystic. If he can hold off Mystic for as long as he can, he may be able to battle it out with the rest of the drivers behind. But it's going to be a really tough go for him from this point out, being on the oldest the oldest set of tires as well as the hardest set of tires.
And meanwhile, Mystic, he's got a fresh set of soft tires on too, so he's on the freshest and fastest tire for good measure. And just speaking of that, I think that might be just we were talking about why Helge decided to dive into the pits, and I think it might just be that. He's not going to gain too much in terms of the car performance being in that Haas. So I think maybe trying to gain an advantage just with the fresher set of tires, just to stick with everybody else around him who is equally on those fresh set of tires and might be in a slightly better performing car here.
So Monkey brings up a good point or a good question here. We'll start with you there, Hotspot. What's our picks for the podium here as it stands?
Well, I'm just noticing this now. Another one of those drivers that has gone.
Tiger comes back into the pit,
Houdini.
weirdly enough. But yes.
Yeah, I was just about to say Tiger's come back in. Not sure what the reasoning is behind that. Well, that's interesting decision making there. But Houdini has now found himself up into P5 on the soft compound, and Tiger NASCAR is also from the soft compound. So I think honestly, any of these guys on the softs right now has a good chance of doing it. I think Joker probably has the best chance right now. The only thing I'm a little worried about is, yeah, we've got 10 laps left, but that's towards the end of the life for these soft compounds. I'm wondering what the difference is going to be at the end of the race. That big variable at this point in time. That's a big question mark. So for the sake of that, I'm going to say Joker, Subtle, and I'm going to say Scuba Steve finds his way onto the podium this week.
Okay. What are you feeling there, Fallen?
When I'm looking here at the order, I do have to agree with Joker. He's just been driving a fantastic race in that Williams. I gotta go. I like the subtle call too with the mediums in that Ferrari. But you know what? I'll take Helge. You know what? He's been having a fantastic race. I can't seem to get my eye off the driver. He's in a Haas, but he's been driving so well. I'll say Helge is my final podium sitter here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass the question off to you now.
Yeah. I'm feeling with Mystic as well. I think Mystic is going to bring it home. I think Houdini is going to find himself back up there. And that third final spot, I'm going to say it's going to be either between Dead Text Message and Subtle but Whole. It's I'm not sure. I don't. We'll see. I think it's going to be close, but it's all depending on how good Dead Text Message can get off here. So maybe if he can open up the gap enough or keep Mystic at bay for a little bit, then he's got a good shot. But if that can't happen, then he's going to be in trouble. Did Helg spin out? Helg spun out.
Oh no.
Oh
sorry,
my goodness. And Scuba Steve retired from.
Uh-oh.
What? What is this?
He spun into the wall.
Scuba going into the pits too, it looks like. Oh, and we're back to green flag now. I didn't even notice.
Oh my god. Who else is in the pit? Hammer spun out.
And Hammer's facing the wrong way.
Oh my goodness.
It's all gone off here with the restart.
Oh my.
We found the Magello incident. Honestly, I have no clue what's happened here.
I don't think that was any of Dead Text Message's doing. I'm not exactly sure. Dead is currently holding Mystic off. Mystic goes really late on the brakes, nearly gets it back. the two Aston Martin teammates were battling. DDL gets overtaking Tiger NASCAR up into 5th place. I guess we can't count out Tiger NASCAR now. Mystic is absolutely draped all over Dead Text Message here. We're going to come into Cops. Mystic's got the most confidence coming through here, but he doesn't have the car close enough. As that McLaren, like you say, or the better cars, they just pull away on the straight, and that's what just happened there.
Yeah, but Dead Text Message having a bit of a moment there. Big tank slapper going through Mags and Beckett, so Mystic Joker can keep the line. He might be able to make some moves, but no. Once again, just that straight line speed lacking for the Williams. Just matching the pace of Dead Text Message. So Mystic Joker might need to get a little. I'll be honest, maybe a little bit ballsy with the move. Not to be unsafe, but just maybe just go full send at some point if he feels he can get it done, especially with the better tires than Dead Text Message.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dead Text Message is going to have a lot of work to do here. Not to mention he's got the time penalty that he's picked up earlier on in the race. He's also got 12 lap-old hard tires, so I think honestly he's going to have quite a task ahead of him. Not just keeping Mystic Joker behind him.
Ooh, he throws Mystic way out.
Wow, it's a good battle here. Oh, Hammer's gone. What's happened to him?
Looks like I think that was in the pit lane from what I can see on the mini map. I think Hammer, maybe after that restart facing the wrong way, I think he might have had enough and calling it here today.
So Settle's just sitting on the outside looking in of this battle here. Very important. It's about how close Houdini can stay as well to Dead Text Message for the penalty in the end here. So that's something to keep an eye on with 8 laps to go. And Houdini gets a little too high up on the curb and nearly loses it there, but stays afloat. And we got to drag down the hanger straight. And once again, Dead Text Message just able to take it. He's just got the speed with the car, man. Oh, and then a second penalty. That ouch. That's not what you want to see.
No, and I mean, I've got our chat open here with the stream, and Scuba Steve providing us a little bit of insight on his incident. Very clearly not impressed with the game here. Seems like he was trying to warm up his tires and just completely lost it. So heartbreaking for Scuba Steve, but it's learning curves here, I guess, with the new game and the new tire models that we have here, I think.
Oh, and here we go. We're going to have a move for first place here. Mystic tries to send it around the outside. Dead Text Message tries to break deep, but Mystic is going to get the job done in the end, and Dead Text Message's battle isn't over as Subtlebud Hole sticks his nose in there, and Dead goes off onto the gravel and spins out.
Oh, man. Stop. Okay, alright, good. We almost had a massive incident there, but so unfortunate for Dead Text Message. He was doing everything in his power to stay with that battle, and unfortunately, I think it just kind of got the best of him there. I didn't think there was any contact between him and the Ferrari of Subtle, but I'm sure that is not the end to that he wanted. However, Subtle, I'd say he's within this 1 second gap, and he is on the older mediums, but again, I still think the mediums might have something for him here towards the end of the race.
We need to keep our eye on Houdini as well. He's one of the few drivers to keep it clean here. No penalties. Commentator's curse coming in hot real soon here. But Houdini's got no penalties, and he's got 2 cars ahead of him with penalties, and he's on some fairly fresh softs as well. So sitting fairly good. Could potentially have a podium in his cards here. He's just got to keep it clean from this point out. Something to keep our eye on after. Mystic just breaking away from Subtlebud Hole, opening up that gap just outside of DRS, with Subtle going a little bit too deep through turn 4. That's going to make things difficult as well as Mystic tries to pull away from here. With onto our 20th lap here. So we'll have to see how things play out from this point forward.
Yeah, and I think
VSC,
we got a virtual safety car that came out.
I think Dead Text Message spun out. Well, he's fine now, but I think he lost it for a moment there.
Yeah, and I do want to. I mean, since we have some time here, I want to mention. I think it was you, Crash, that 2 laps ago you mentioned when you were talking about our podium predictions. You had mentioned we'll keep an eye out on Tiger NASCAR, and I was thinking he's down in 5th, he's down in 6th. There's no way. But here we
Yeah.
are, 2 laps later. It's up into P3.
What can I say? I've been around the game for a while.
Yep, you can predict a little bit of what's going to happen there.
I bleed this league. But as well as Jin to win it. Jin to win it's not too far out of it as well. He's right behind Tiger NASCAR, but he does have 8 seconds worth of penalties, so he needs a miracle in a way. But he's
a little bit of an asterisk there then.
Yeah, exactly that. The 8 drivers remain.
He's not far off this either.
Exactly.
He's right there as well.
Where's his gap gone? Why has he lost so much time with the VSC?
Oh, I think I caught on to it. This is going to sound weird, but he's locked up going into, I think it was Vale at the time. He almost went completely off track, honestly. He was right there, and then suddenly I see him almost spin off the track. That was an interesting mistake to be had there, but as DRS comes back open, I mean, I know the asterisk is in play here, but I'll tell you what, Janet's been pressuring Tiger NASCAR these past couple laps, and it's been really fun to watch, and even if he doesn't get the position, it's still good entertainment.
Very true, but maybe he could potentially force Tiger into another track position penalty and then get the overtake, and then at that point the gap only needs to be created of 2 seconds, and Jin finished second in Division 1. He's got it in him. So we'll see. That battle for the final podium position is not quite over yet.
Oh no, and especially if you're in Tiger NASCAR's position, you're in third, you're running through, but you gotta keep in mind that you've got this, like you said, second place in Division 1 behind you. You guys were talking about in qualifying, I think more towards Mystic, I believe, but some of these Division 1 drivers, they have that ability to just force you into a mistake without you even realizing it. You're minding your own business, and all of a sudden a mistake comes here and there, and those Division 1 drivers will capitalize on it. So I think Jinnit biding his time a little bit, but maybe ploying a little something here to try to snag that podium up.
And then Dissection with a good point in chat here, telling us mentioning to give a shout out to DDL here, where he kind of came into this race actually completely cold. He joined up with qualifying Q3 nearly done, and then actually gets knocked out in Q3, so he's forced to sit through Q2 and Q1, and then comes into the race like completely cold, and currently finds himself 6th in one of the final drivers remaining in this race, as we've lost so many, including yourself, Fallen Monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but no, from DDL starting from last up into 6th now, up 10 positions, looking to gain a couple more. But no, it's been a fantastic race for him, coming in cold, and even I think I was looking here. I think it's the Monkey Mafia mentioning here. DDL was new to F1 when he joined the League 2, and from new to F1 and finding himself in the interdivisional championship race and just outside of a top 5 is definitely not something to just scoff away just like that. But Tiger NASCAR now putting pressure on Settle. Not too sure what happened to Settle there to close that gap up. Nearly side by side going through turn 3. Settle able to hang on for the moment. The separations happened a little bit, but I think expect Tiger NASCAR maybe with the help of DRS to try something going into this next corner here. Thought about going down the inside, but just I honestly thought he was going to go down the inside, and I think honestly Settle thought so too, but Tiger NASCAR just taking his line, biding his time, playing it patient, knows he has, I guess, 2.5 laps to go, not trying to force an overtake here.
Yeah, not too bad. Jin is just sitting on the outside of this battle here, so any mistake or any opening from either of these drivers, Jin's just going to absolutely bounce all over it.
I tell you what, Helgeland has been putting the pressure on DDL these past couple laps. There's not got a lot of time left. Oh, what's this? Settle is
Tiger NASCAR got ahead of Settle.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a great move in the DRS section as well. Done it cleanly. As I say that, Helgelin and DDL, as I was saying, making the overtake happen. That's a battle for position as well. I know both of them have penalties, but they both currently sit on 3 seconds apiece. So another one of these battles to look out for here. And I don't know if it was just my screen, but they did not yet clean up the remnants of that crash in the international.
Oh,
I still see front wings
I
littered all
see
over the
that.
place.
I see that, yeah. So Suttle's got to keep his nerves here. He's still sitting net second place. Tiger NASCAR's got to open up a major lead on him. As long as he keeps in DRS and doesn't let Jin force him into anything, then he should still finish second.
Speaking of, though, he took a 3-second time penalty.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's a battle for position now.
Yeah, very good. Well, let's get on with it then. NASCAR's softs are going to start wearing out fairly soon here. Suttle's it's going to be fairly close the way these tires are going to be to these drivers here. NASCAR, of course, has the quicker car. Decides to, you see that? Did you see that? Did you see him take turn 14 there? He just drove straight across the grass. He didn't even attempt it. That was funny.
I'm upset I missed it.
Oh my, he didn't even bother with turn 14. He just drove straight across the grass. That was good. We're going to get on to lap 25 here. 2 full laps to go. Still plenty of position changes can happen here. Subtle but Hole still in a battle for third place. Tiger NASCAR just able to increase the gap enough and nearly at the point where Subtle but Hole is going to just be regretting. I mean, he is going to be regretting that time penalty, but just a little bit more now as that gap is getting a little bit too far away for him. He's got to hope that Tiger makes a mistake.
And not to mention, he's also going to have to start battling Jenna here shortly. I know Jenna's got a lot of penalties, but from what I've seen so far, he wants this position, even if he's not going to get it. He's actually trying to force him into a mistake, and mistake he has as almost losing the car on the exit of Woodcote there, almost getting into the gravel. And I tell you what, though, he's keeping up with it nicely. He's stayed consistent so far, keeping that gap at about 0.6 of a second. This one's going to come down to the wire.
Oh, definitely. Jinnit closing up, at least through Magus and Beckett's. But the question is, can he gain the time in the straights? Doesn't look like it. You're not getting the ideal exit out of not Cops, but my goodness, Chapel. Forget my corner names here. But
there's a lot of them.
Right back. Oh yeah.
I just don't even bother at some points.
Some of them I know, some of them I don't. You might notice I'll go through, like, down the Lewis Hamilton straight and then through turn 1.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but final lap now here, and it looks like I'm going to knock on wood here. Mystic Joker leading the race, a 2-second gap here, barring some crazy moments here on the final lap. It's the Williams drivers' race to lose here. But I think all eyes are still in this podium battle here from Tiger NASCAR, Subtle, and Jinnit. As they're still close, Jinnit getting close, still wants that position. But I thought Subtle would have tried to push a little bit more than he has on Tiger NASCAR, knowing they're even on the penalties, but doesn't seem to be the case.
Jin is not going to give up as well. He's going to try and battle it out with Subtle all the way into the final turn. So hopefully something doesn't happen there where... No, I don't even want to say it. I'm not even going to say it. But we're going to have Mystic Joker. He's in Sector 3 now, down the hanger straight. He's got quite the gap, and oh my, there is a battle going on. Subtle, I think, just allows him to go by. And Tiger picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oh my god. So Mystic Joker is finishing up the final 2 turns here. He's going to come over the line for the win. Tiger NASCAR with the penalty in the final sector. He's going to come over the line in second, but he will surely drop into third. Jinnit to win it fourth. Subtle but Hole keeps it clean in the end and takes home second place for Division 3. Houdini gets a position up above. Helg in fourth, or in Jinnit in fourth. Helg coming over the line in sixth. Very well done. DDL in seventh, and Dead Text Message, our leader for the middle part of that race, is going to end up in eighth place. That was that's quite the ending. That's quite the ending.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot. I'll be honest, especially for the last three corners, got a lot more stressful than it had to be. Especially if you're a fan of Settle, letting Jinnit by, but then with the time second penalty, I was starting to worry a little bit as to whether or not Settle was within that 3 second gap. It worked out for him, but like I said, a little bit closer than it wanted to be. But for us, just made it that much better for the finale.
Oh yeah, that was an absolutely brilliant race to watch, and I tell you what, there was action everywhere on the grid, really, interdivisional battles as well. Something that's very very welcome here. This was definitely fun.
Yeah, it was once again a roaring success. Again, it was just you couldn't ask for much more. Mystic Joker getting the win, Subtle but Hole in second, Tiger NASCAR is third. Three different divisions on the podium there. Unfortunately, there's no finishers in Division 2, so that's not what you want to see down in Div 2, but maybe they can bring it back after next season's Interdivision Challenge. But I'll finish it up quickly once again. We see Houdini 4th, Jinnit in 5th, Helg 6th, DDL 7th, and Dead Text Message in the last of the finishers in one of the more unlucky drives. Undeserving, I'd say, but still 8th place out of, 16th? So the better half of the field today. Wow. Yeah, that was quite the end. It starts next week, guys. I mean, have I announced any bit of the have I announced any bit of the streaming schedule that we're gonna do, the rotating schedule that's coming in?
I don't think you have. Honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right, let me see if I can. I'm gonna try and find it here. Okay, so we have we're gonna change it up a little bit this next coming season here in season 4. So I don't really ask you guys, but I'm just going to say we've all agreed upon somewhat of a rotating schedule here. So I'm of course with the Twitch channel going to be dominating Division 1, but you're going to see Fallen and Hotspot step in for a couple of weeks there. Fallen is going to jump up and host Division 1 week 4 and 7 as well as 14. Hotspot is going to take a race in week 11. Fallen's going to dominate Division 2 with, I believe, 12 of their races. I will be doing 4 of Division 2 races, and Hotspot will be as well doing one of those. And then Hotspot is going to be the man of Division 3 and Division 4. He's going to be doing around 10 races of Division 3 and 5 races of Division 4. As well as Fallen, you're going to do a race down to Division 4 in one of the break weeks in the mid-season there. So
I think you also snuck in a cheeky Division 5 for me as well, which I'm very excited about. Excited to see this new crop of drivers as well.
I didn't, but you could, by all means, go right ahead.
Did you? I thought you did.
At one point, I think I did because of the way that the brakes were initially set, but the brakes got changed up, so I had to change it back. But I mean, we can make it happen by all means if you want. We can make it happen. Maybe week 10 we can do a Division 5 race. But yeah, so it's we're gonna try and get as many of the league or divisions as possible. And I think we actually might have another caster coming in here as well. So I'm not sure. Things are happening. Exciting things are happening. I'm working on stream overlays. You're going to have Hotspot's brilliant editing that he does for the YouTube channel, as well as Fallen goes live on his channel every Thursday as well. So you have all the options in the world on what you'd like to tune into. So by all means, tune into as many as you can. We very much appreciate all of it. All those that do follow the Midwest F1 League are hugely appreciated and are loved by all those in the community. So thank you very much. I'll have to give a shout out to our sponsor there, Raise Energy. Be sure to use code MWF1 in checkout for 15% off your order from here on out as Raise is back with Midwest. So if you do order through Raise, be sure to use that code and you can get yourself a fine 15% off. But I mean, yeah, we're going to be back next week with Spain, starting in Spain. So that's going to be a different one. What's your take on Spain there, Fallen?
Honestly, it's a good track. Very much a, I don't know if it's a driver favorite. I always like commentating. It's got a little bit of everything. I mean, there's a reason why it's the test track IRL, and I know it does lead to fantastic races. So, honestly, I'm excited for next week. Excited to kick things off and see what, not only what Division Two has to offer, but what all the divisions have to offer here for this new season on the new game. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. What about you there, Hotspot? What's your take on Spain coming up, as
Yeah, I
well as
tell
your
you
move to
what,
Division Three?
I think the best part about this league is we take the worst tracks on the actual F1 schedule and we sometimes make them the best race of the season, and that's exactly what
Very
we've
good
seen
point.
with Spain. It's what we see with pretty much every track that has the
Russia,
ability to
Russia
put
for
together
sure.
an absolute. Dude, yeah, Russia for sure. We had that. Honestly, I'm super excited to be going to Div 3. Super excited to be going. This rotation that we have. Very, very excited there, and yeah, I'm ready. I'm pumped.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Cam, Midwest is back with Raise. Like, order Raise, buddy. 50% off at checkout. MWF1. Use that product code. But anywho, yeah, my final thoughts. Spain, really looking forward to it. Season 4, we're ready. Freaking F1 2021, Midwest F1 League, like this shit's popping. Like, let's get it going. Like, oh my god, 1 week away and we are back into it. This interdivision race was so perfect for us to kind of get our feet wet, kind of like get the blood pumping, kind of a little bit of taste of blood. Like we're ready. We're ready. Us casters are absolutely fired up for this thing. And 1 week from today, be sure to join in and see wherever you can across all the channels. So, but I mean, final words from you. We'll start with you, Hotspot. Anything left to say?
Yeah, no, I tell you what, this race here has definitely, it showed us a lot about how the divisions are handling these new cars and handling this new game, but I tell you what, despite people sometimes complaining about it, I tell you what, it was very, very exciting, and I am so pumped for this new season, pumped to be working down in Division 3 as well as all over the rest of the league. Great race today, and I'm sure we have more of that to come next week.
Exactly that. What about you, Fallen? Final words?
I'll be honest, from what I gauged here, this is a nice little sneak peek into what we can expect from, like Hotspot said, the divisions, but also the racing here in this brand new installment of the F1 2020 game here in F1 2021. So I'm really excited to kick things off. Really happy to be back here for another season. Thanks to, all of you guys here at Midwest for allowing me to come back now for, I think it's my third season now, and honestly, the time has just flown by. I've loved it here. So I'm excited, and thank you guys for having me back for another season here.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, me. It's all the waiting game, man. I've got tomorrow off, so I'm just gonna be chilling, playing the game, and just make myself even more hungry. So yeah, that's about it for me. Really looking forward to season 4. Let's get to it. Only way to do so is just count the minutes. So hopefully it comes sooner than later. Don't look at the clock, as time goes by quick when you don't look at the clock. If you're working in a warehouse, that's how you get through your day quicker. Never look at the clock. That's my final thought. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday or your Friday if you're in Australia, or your Friday morning/midnight if you're in England. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a good rest of your week/weekend, long weekend if you're in Canada, Fallen. And we'll be seeing you next Thursday. Goodbye, everyone.